everyone, it's Manga Sensei. And speaking of yo, today we're talking about a new kanji, that is 4. The number 4. Now, if you're thinking, man, this number 4 looks a lot like 1, 2, and 3, then you must be really, really confused or blind, because 4 looks nothing like the previous 3 kanji that we've talked about. In fact, this kanji is extremely unique in its etymology or in the formation of this kanji. But before we talk about that, let's talk about the readings. There are a number of important readings for the number 4. The first is shi. Now, if you ever go to Japan and you go into an elevator, you'll often notice the numbers in the elevator are read as 1, 2, 3, and F. F is signifying 4, or the 4th floor, if they even have a 4th floor at all. Often places will simply have 1, 2, 3, and 5. This is like the 13th floor in a hotel in America, or in other places I'm sure there are similar types of superstitions. However, 4, the own reading, shi, is the same reading sound as the word for death, shi. Therefore, we often will see people try to nix the number 4 and simply use something else in its place or skip it altogether. However, the other reading is not so taboo, I guess, which is yo, and yong. Now, the kun reading, again, is when you use a kanji usually by itself, but not always, but it is a good rule of thumb to stick by. But before we talk about some of those readings, I want to get back to that etymology portion that I talked about earlier. The etymology of this kanji is extremely interesting. This is the 2 major parts. The first is an enclosure. As you notice, the box surrounding the legs on the inside. These legs are just like the legs on your feet, and the enclosure is very similar to the mouth kanji that you see. There are many kanji like this, and we'll talk about this later in the year as we continue on our kanji tour. But I'd like you to think of 2 legs, or 4 legs, if it helps you, in a little tiny enclosure where you can kind of shake them up. I know it's kind of a disturbing image, but I find disturbing, perverted, or weird images help you remember the meaning of a thing. See how those 2 things in the middle just look kind of like 2 walking feet and legs attached to them in a weird little box? Think of it. It's a shoebox with 4 shoeboxes, because it's the number 4. With that, though, let's talk about some common words. The first one that I want to talk about is shiki. Shiki is the 4 seasons. Shi as the on reading, and ki as in the reading for a season or a time of year. So the 4 seasons mean, of course, being spring, summer, fall, and winter, or autumn, winter if you prefer, as well as shikaku. Shikaku is a square. Shi, of course, in this case being 4, and kaku is a corner. Therefore, 4 corners is a square, just like you'd imagine. And lastly is yonnin. Yonnin is 4 people. In each of these individual cases, we're using the on and kun readings. However, in this case, you'll notice that it is the kun reading in this one. Well, how do I differentiate when I should use shi and when I should use yo or yon, right? This will simply come through practice, and you'll usually use it word by word. However, for the most time, if you're using a counter like nin, then you want to use the kun reading. And we'll talk about counters another day, or you can tune into my podcast where I explain this at length. Learn Japanese at Manga Sensei. With Manga Sensei. I'm him. So today we're going to talk about a quick mnemonic, which is yo, like yo, what's up? Yo is shi, yong is shi 4, yo is shi yong, and that way you can remember is shi 4 by yo is shi yong is a quick, easy way to memorize it with the image of the box. However, I am trying to keep these videos under 5 minutes, and I would like you to mostly focus on learning the image and the meaning of it before you worry too much about that. But if the mnemonic helps you, and I hope it does, I'll keep doing these. Please comment below if you like them. With that, though, thank you so much for listening to this video. I really do appreciate it. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell, as these will come out every single day. And if not, whatever. I'm more than happy to keep teaching this, and as this comprehensive thing grows, then it will become something that we can all be proud of and all learn from every single day. With that, though, I will sign off, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Until then, remember, もし日本語でペレペレになりたいなら間違いが必要なんです。ですから一緒に間違えましょう。それじゃあ、また明日。